I should probably post a link. That would be smart. All right. Hello, everyone. Unless it's just myself again, but who cares? All right. Continuing from where I left off yesterday. Yeah, like 2 hours to get to. I think it was. Let's see. South 1. Oh no, we got to South 1-1. Okay. What's up, Glassy Press? Okay, so let's start off. We are in South 1. Dora is the 6 pin. Points right now are kind of. I guess in this rule set you don't really worry about the points in South 1. This is a final, so they do kind of worry about the points, but because it's like a 16-game finals, not until like towards the end are they actually like really caring about like specific placements and how it relates to like the total scores and whatnot. So first game and probably even like through the first half of all the games, there's probably little attention to that. As far as the UMA goes, this is a floating UMA, so if you're over 30k, that's good. If you're under 30k, that's bad. But the big difference, or I guess the difference in points between like each placement is not super big. So for instance, let's say if fourth right here, who has like 20,000, and it like gets above this person into like third place, that would only give them in this point situation like only 4,000 extra points from UMA. So like a single Mongon would easily beat that. So while UMA isn't like it's a thing, but it's not like big enough that's it's how do you say, if you're playing Tenho or you're playing like Mod Soul or you're playing like M League style, especially once you hit the South round, you're like continually thinking of your placement. You're continually thinking of like, you know, what do you gotta do to get to the placements that you want or want to get out of. So like in M League, you're really trying to get top. In Tenho rules or in Masho rules, you're really trying just to not be last. In this rule set, you're just trying to get points, and then once it gets close to the end of the game, you start including the UMA that you have from the placements also into your calculations. So yeah, let's get to it. Dora is the 6. We are currently west wind, or I'm sorry, north wind. 1 pin 7. Did I turn on this or not? Okay, it's on now. Alright, starting hand is absolutely horrible. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Shanten right now for a regular hand. We have 2 pairs, so that's also technically 4 Shanten for a Chitoitsu hand. Dora is the 6, which we can actually take in with that 6 pin right there, so it's not that bad. Yeah, this hand could potentially become pretty decent, like Pinfu Tanyao, Dora chance as well. So what do we drop here? Let's see. These 3 are Yakuhai right here. West is a Otakaze, so we could just go straight with the West, or if we want to like try to lock in some value now, we could technically throw the one. So see what they do. So yeah, they just go standard West here. East. Alright, another Yakuhai. So north is one cut right now, so either they can prioritize like the north wind, just to throw that out because it's already one cut, or they can throw out like the one. So they would lose like a block and drop a Shanten, but I don't know how big of a drop that would necessarily be. So okay, straight up played the north. Chun is now one cut. Tsumagiri. Haku is also one cut now. Ninebon is kind of useless because we have this 6. Yeah, why would you keep the 9-mon here? If you're going for 7 pairs, I guess you can keep the 9-mon because it's like a little bit better, but generally you throw the 9-mon over these. What do they do in this rule set though? Okay, yeah, just throw the 9-mon. Hatsu's also one cut now. Sunmon, that. Nor, I guess 9 sounds like a floating tile, but generally speaking, singular like Yakugai tiles would usually beat out like a low 9, so some players do like it so that like a low 9 so can beat out like a 1 cut honor though. So yeah, they prefer keeping these honors around. Also, it's pretty good for safety as well, I guess, because like, you know, 2 safe tiles right here, safe tiles right here. This hand is pretty far from Tenpai, and chances of another person getting to Tenpai before us is really likely. So, yeah. Samogiri, 8-pin, 3. Oh, nice. So we got an 8 right here. Moves up our hand by 1 Shanten, but the shapes are pretty bad. Kanchan, 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 technically 1 Ramen. So probably play it straight, throw one of the honor tiles. If we throw the... So these are all 1 cut right now. If we throw this, then we lose safe tile for this person. And we technically have 2 safe tiles for the dealer right now with both of these, so I guess probably throw Hatsu or Chun. So yeah, so those Chun. 3-pin, potentially a Tatsu drop. Chun comes from hand. 4 so. Hey! Alright, we have a chance for Tanyao like Dora now. So that helps free up this restrictions on this block. And we also have 3 pairs right now. If we go for a like Tanyao hand for Chitoitsu, technically Richitsumo Chitoi Tanyao is Mongon as well, so guess we throw the 1 so here. Chun. So they're still keeping this 1 so around. I can take in the 2 so. I guess for Chitoitsu purposes, it technically has 1 more tile than this. Safety wise, I guess like the Chun is probably better. So it seems mostly like an offensive decision. Alright, Toyman declares Ricci waiting on something. They threw out a Otakaze 1 cut west wind, so that might suggest that it could be a good like Ryamen shape, or at least the blocks in their hands were kind of like confirmed. So that could either be they were confirmed because like they were like good shapes, or they could be confirmed because they were like chasing like after a specific Yaku. For instance, like Saki getting to chase after like Sanshoku. Right now we see none of the Dora. So yeah, we probably want to defend against that. Right now 8-pin is our only 100% guaranteed safe tile. Hatsu's 1 cut, so it's not super bad. And then I think that's all we have. This person threw a 1 cut honor tile, so they might not have safe tiles, or they could be pushing. So I guess we just throw the 8-pin here. 5-pin is a push. Yeah, that's a push. Unless they have like some cool information that we don't. So like if they could see like 2 of the 3 pins and they can see all the 3 pins. 5-pin is technically Suji with this 8-pin, and then with that wall of the 3 pins, technically it could be pretty safe. Technically. And also if they were, yeah, 5-pin's probably weird. Wait. But either way, that 5-pin looks like a slight push, so probably 1-2 Shansen, we can assume. Let's see. 9 so, Tsumogiri, 5 mon is That's a push as well. Huh. So I guess they're like 1-2 Shanten as well. Hey, we just drew like a cool one-so, which puts us technically in one Shanten. We don't have any safe tiles, except we do have like a couple Suji tiles, but at this point, probably risk the one cut Hatsu to take the one Shanten. Throws the 6 Manzu. Interesting. So 6 Manzu is like a one cut, or it's like a Suji like one chance. So we have 8, 8, 8, and then we can see 3 right here. So it can't be a 3-6 because 3 came out, and it could be a 6-9 Ryaman weight, but it's only a one chance because there's only one 8-mon remaining. It's also an early Matage to that 7-mon, but I don't know how reliable that is in this rule set. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. Why are they willing to throw the 6-mon over like the Hatsu? I guess if we look at their discards, like they started off like Manzu, Sozu, Manzu, Pinzu, Honor Tile, Reach. So they could be reading maybe even like, oh, Honor Tiles might be even more dangerous for them. And in this rule set, if someone does have like value, that would be pretty like painful. So like dealing in on like a 9 so wouldn't be bad necessarily as like dealing in on like a Hatsu. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I guess that is a reason. In this case, it's kind of weird though because like the 6 pins the door and we don't see any of them. So usually you want to go to like the least likely thing, but I guess in their mind, the early Matagi and the one chance Nakasuji beats out this Hatsu in safety. Okay, Forso is push. So Chi drops at 6, which is now safe. Tatsu over Ryaman. Chi, that could be Tenpai, or like one Shanten. 3-1 Suzus. Well, Force came out, so it's Suji. So unless they have like the Tankya, but this is pretty safe. We're one Shanten from 7 pairs. Technically, I don't think we can dream of upgrading to like Suanko or anything right here, because there's someone in reach. So probably just drop the 1-so, I guess. Yeah. Tuso, Tatsu over, and a push. And Sumo. Richitsumo, Dora Chitoitsu. And look, they had the Hatsu in their hand. So yeah, that was a Chitoitsu read, I guess, from them. Huh, that's cool. Oh, I guess that does make more sense right here. So they threw out the Chun, and then after that, they threw out the West. So if you look at the board real quick, the Chun is actually 2 cut, right? Whereas the West is only 1 cut. So from their perspective, if this was like a safety like thing that they're holding on to, the Chun is actually safer than the West is because it's like a 2 cut honor versus a 1 cut honor. So that's actually a pretty big indicator that they could be Tonki hunting, especially for like something like Chitoitsu with this discard pile. Okay. I kind of want to see if other people were pushing. So let's open that up real quick. So this was like relatively safe tile from their hand overflow. Let's see. This was a push. And what are they pushing with? Technically they got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they already shunted right here. Then this person drops the 5, which is a push. And that push put them into a really shiny Ishanten. Like a really, really good Ishanten. Forso, that was viewed as a push. And then that also put them into one Shanten for a potential Pinfu, Sanshoku. So that's pretty cool. Or not Pinfu, because that's Surround Wind. So they called right here, dropped this, so that we're reviewing that could be Tenpai or one Shanten, and that is Tenpai waiting on the 258. Huh, that's cool. Okay. Oh, and this is a nice upgrade from them right here. So they just drew the 6, so technically, if they draw like, actually, not quite. Uh, yeah, not quite. If they had like a 3 in their hand, that would be kind of interesting because they could like switch over to like the 6, 7, 8 versus like the 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then they'd sumo that. So in this rule set, especially since people are like really apprehensive of throwing Dora, I guess like if you do have like a Chitoi Dora, especially if you're waiting on the Dora itself, Richi seems like a common option there, because if you're not going to get it from anyone, you're going to have to sumo it. And if you're going to sumo it, if you Richi with that, you're guaranteed a Hanemon. Whereas if you do have a Chitoi Dora not waiting on the Dora, I guess it will probably depend on what the board looks like and how likely people are to drop stuff if you reach or not reach. Okay. Tsugi. We are in east, or not east, south 2. Dora is the 4-pin. Currently, we're in last place. That's a bit sad. So, onward. Hatsu. Starting hand has technically Imensu. 1, 2, 3, 4 connections. So, a very iffy for Shanten. I guess the best part is we technically have a completed 3 of a kind right there, and then the shape right here with the Dora. Currently it is the south, and we are west, so east is an Otakaze, so I guess is this hand far enough that you actually keep this around and like chunk something else, except like the 4s and the 4 make like a Tanyao switch, or at least just going for like efficiency look pretty juicy, so probably just the east, I guess. 9 mon, huh? No, so they are playing like the more defensive of, if I do get like this, you know, evolved into something with some good draws, I'll take it. But they're not gonna risk everything to try to get a far off hand. Okay, so we got 6-pin Haku, 9-pin. So 9-mon was one thing, but 3-so and 7-pin, are they willing to throw those? I wouldn't think so. So I guess probably the east here. 1-pin. Oh no. They're like, well, if I am gonna get this hand later on, you know, it's probably gonna be in Tenpai. Gotta have like enough value to like fight that, and if we want to make this hand into a Mongon, Tanyao is pretty good for that. Okay. Oh, safety. Got the 5-so. Okay, now drop the east. 7-pin, someone give you 1-pin. 4-so, nice draw. What is this now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Still technically just 4 Shanten. Oh, because we dropped the 1, but the shapes are a lot better and the value is amazing. If we're looking at these from a safety perspective, I guess west is the safest. Haku would be next, and then south and Shun are following. Shun is technically double for this person if they call, so I don't know if we want to like throw that later, especially if we might fold the hand, or if we want to throw it now if we're like more bent on pushing it and are gonna have to throw it later anyway. So I guess south of Shun. Haku. So yeah, they do go with the 1 cut. They did this earlier as well. So anytime like the 1 cut came out and they were kind of like playing for like efficiency or kind of also defense, they decided to throw the 1 cuts over the Shonpais. Wonder why that is. Alright. West now 1 cut, comes from their hand, 1 mon, 8-pin. Hey, nice 8-pin draw. So yeah, we are on track now for something. Something. So West is 2 cut right here. So West is really safe. So are they gonna drop the West and be? I guess now it kind of makes sense to keep the South and Shun around for value as well, because we only have what 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks right now. So if we do get a South or a Shun, that's really good for our value. Richi, Sumo, Dora, Chun, or South would be Mongon. So I guess the West. Yep. 6-pin Hatsu, 6 mon, no call, 9-so Tsumogiri, north 2 so, 9 so, Tsumogiri. Chun is now 1 cut. 2 pin, Tumon. Nice! So we got a Dora draw right here. 2 pin they didn't call, so we gotta do something about this. But I guess for right now, we have 2 Dora, all greed mode. Probably like the Chun? Or I guess they could do a little bit more defensive, because technically they have like 1, 2 with these 4, 3, 4, 5 blocks right now. They could like Sakigiri and throw out the 3 so, or keep around the 3 so to potentially get a shape upgrade, especially because they have this like 2, 2, 4, 4 right now, with the 4 being the Dora. They probably want to throw out the 2s. There's only like 1 left. So that 3 so would be really juicy for that. But we are getting to the middle rounds, so what are they going to do with that? So yeah, they do keep this around. They still think it's worth it, especially now with like a Dora and technically a straight up Mongon path, Tanyao Dora 3 even. So Haku 2 cut, definite progression. East Chun. Okay, okay, okay. Hmm. So it just drew an 8 pin right here. Technically, this puts us into 2 Shanten for a 7 pairs. We're 2 Shanten for a regular hand, though, too. If we keep Chun around, that's better for safety. And then even if we do keep the 8 pin around, there's 1 out right now, so it technically only gives us, like, 1 actual Geide. It could give us some more down the line, because then we have more flexibility with our pairs, but we tend to have a lot of pairs right now. So are they going to go like complete green mode and drop the Chun? Or are they going to go like not as green mode and either drop like the 3 so I guess at this point even, or even just somebody the 8 pin? Hmm. So yeah, I guess the 3 so drop would be like, well, because I have this like 8 pin now, I'm not as like hell bent on getting like the last 2 pins, because technically they could get 3 pin, but 3 pin is kind of rough being the door indicator. Yeah, I don't know what you should do here. I would probably just like, let's see, how many safe tiles do I have for each person? Oh yeah, I would just throw the Chun. Like 7 pin if like something comes from right here. Technically 8 pin also looks really good. 20 man we have like the 2 pins, and then this person we have the 2 8 pins. So Chun looks good from my perspective, but let's see what they do. 3 so. So yeah, they are going the more defensive routes, confirming their blocks now, keeping the safe tile around. And the later this gets, the harder the 3 so is. So especially right now, where like this person's already like safe tile over, this person looks like safe tile over, and this person's discards are progressing quite nicely as well. So seeing like a Ricci come out on any turn isn't that strange. So I guess that's why they're like, well, I already got enough potential with this extra pair now, so I don't really need the upgrade potential for my shape. Better to cut it now so I can fight later if something does go down, especially since we have 2 Dora. Alright, what? Tumon is kind of interesting. Keeping the Tumon around does let us use the 3mon, which currently is technically 4 still remaining from our site. Huh. Huh. Technically, we could even, like, actually, could we do that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we can't drop the 2 pin right there. We can't be that greedy. So I guess right here it's either Tumon or Chun. Or technically, we could drop the 8 pin, but nah, that seems undesirable. So yeah, they go Chun right here. Sakigiri over. We have all of our shapes now. 5 so that 3 mon, no calls. So they are not content for calling this hand. Huh. So if they do, well, I guess, yeah. The shape is really good because it can take in the 3 mon, the 4, and then also the 7. So we're looking right now, 7 mon has all of them left, so that's 4 tiles. 4 mon has 1 left, so that's 1 more. And then 3 mon just came out right here, so there's still 3 more. So this is an 8 tile shape. So even if we don't call it, it's still pretty okay. Plus, if we do keep it Dama, this hand could technically become I guess at a tight Suanko, but probably don't have that much time. Okay, Tsumo gave you that. To East. People are looking dangerous right now. Hey, we got a 3 now. All right, so I guess just throw out the Tumon, take the really nice one Shanten. Ha. 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 Okay. Yeah, so if you throw out the 7 pin right here, we're keeping this shape is kind of like confirmed. But as far as our other shapes are concerned, we have the 8 pin we can take in. We can take in a 7 and a 4, and because we leave this 2 here, we can also take in the 3. If you drop the 2, you lose out the 3, but then you gain 6 and 9 Pinzu. If we're looking on the board real quick, 3-mon has 3 left. 9 Pinzu has 1 left, and 6 Pinzu has 3 left, so it's technically 3 versus 3. But if we keep this and draw like the one remaining 9 pin, technically that's really bad because then we lose our Tanyao. So I guess from that perspective, it's like yeah, better to keep the 3. And actually, this is also interesting. So even if we do throw out the 7, we're still guaranteed like a good final shape as well. For instance, if we do draw another 3, we don't have to wait on like the 3-mon Kanchan. You just throw out the 2-mon and you have a 3-side waiting on the 4, 7, and the 8 pin. Huh. So this way does give us more outs to Tanyao's, so that's pretty cool. All right, we got 2 so. Keep on, keep it on. 1 so. This is like just like yep, push, push, push. Probably just someone gonna do that. Probably just someone gonna do that. Yeah. 5 pin is a really big push. 5 pin might be a fold actually. Let's see. 2 so comes out right there. We got a 9 so. Someone gonna do that. So looking at this right now, this person right here is definitely pushing. They could even be Tenpai with the Dama Tan. This person could technically be folding with that 5 pin. Don't exactly know yet. This person we don't exactly know that well. But presumably since they dropped like this kind of like safe tile over right here and then had a hand switch, they're probably also one Shansen or Tenpai. So yeah, gotta keep an eye out just in case we draw anything too bad. 9 so most definitely worth it probably for this one Shanten right here, especially being last. Let's see, 1-mon, 6-mon is technically really dangerous for us too. So that's a push from them too. 8-mon, Smogity, 6 pin, we curse our life. What do we do here? So if we drop the 2 so, we also add the 5 pin. If we drop the 6 pin, then we have what we're left with still. I guess if we drop the 2-mon, we also gain back the 7 pin as well. But the 7 pin has what? 1 left, and then the 5 pin has 2 left, so it is technically 3 tiles. But then we don't have to rely on 3-mon. That might be nice. So are they gonna try the 2-mon drop here, or just continue with the 6? 6 doesn't look, I guess, that super bad right now as far as like safety is concerned. 3-6 it hasn't been thrown for a long time though, and 4 is the Dora, so actually maybe 2-mon is better. Yeah, 2-mon's probably better for a safety perspective. Yeah, so they go with the 2-mon, keeping the 1 Shanten. Toyman Richi's on the 6-mon. Tsumagiri right there. 1 pin is the safe tile. Chun, so a lot of Tsumagiri safe tiles. Everyone is protected. And south is potentially a Twits drop or a safe tile over. We can see one of them out right now. East, we are very unfortunate because now we can't get Tenpai. Unless we can call like a 8 pin or a 4 from this guy or this person. Hatsu 8 so wrong gate. Yeah, and then they drop the south, so they're folding right there. Hatsu was a safe tile over, so they could technically be Tenpai, but probably not. And so it looks like it's probably Hitori Tenpai. Yeah. So Hitori Tenpai, waiting on the 6 and the 3. Womp womp womp. So yeah, were people just perpetually in like one Shanten or like what? Let's see. So yeah, this guy's one Shanten. This person was what is that? Also one Shanten for a Sanshoku Dora. Okay. So no Domaten this time around at least. Still gotta work on reading Domaten. Alright, next up. Ah, don't look. Alright, South. 2-1. 1,300 points on the board. Dora is the 5 Monzu, and this starting hand is like finally a starting hand. A really good one. So we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Shanten, 2 completed blocks, confirmed Ipeiko. Yeah, this is awesome. Now, technically a move is to Poland, but we have what 4 blocks right now for like Honitsu or Chinitsu. But like with this confirmed stuff, like these shapes, probably don't want to, I guess. Yeah, so they're not. Are you sure you don't want to call that 9 pin? Yeah, they're sure. Oh, nice. So instant Dora drop. So probably just like go Meipai here. You can either drop like the 9 so. Both these are technically Yakuai tiles. So yeah. 9 so Hatsu. That's 1 cut now. We just threw that, so we don't need that. 1 pin. Tune. Yes! Alright, hand. Got a little bit better. West is 1 cut now, so I guess we can throw the west, or we could throw the south. Kind of depends on the person. Seeing what they liked before, they really like throwing the 1 cut on our tiles. So Haku, West is dead. Haku is dead. 1 pin. So if we do keep the 1 pin and throw out the south, technically speaking, we're 2 Shanten away from a 7 or from an Itsu hand as well, so that might be really nice. Are they going to keep the Itsu chance upgrade, or are they going to keep the south? So no, they do not. They're just like, nah, I'm good. I got all the blocks I need. I don't want to throw Dora, so if we include Dora, it's already like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks right here. So they just do away with the 1 pin. Technically a ramen drop from this person. That's kind of scary. 1 so, probably throw that. Two so. That's such an awkward tile. If we draw a pair of the Dora, I guess it becomes pretty important though. So I guess we just drop the south here. Yeah. 8 pin, 9 mon from hand. Let's connect a tile probably. East just came out. Oh. Okay. So they weren't willing to hold on to the Shompai South, but they are willing to hold on to the 1 cut honor or 1 cut guest wind right here, as opposed to keeping that 2 so around. So as soon as we hit this middle round, they start looking at more safety. They were doing this in the previous rounds as well. 5 pin is 3 more. Toitsu drop from Toyman. 3 so. I guess we don't need that 1 pin. So 2. Hatsu is currently a 1 cut. If we're keeping these both if we're keeping this around for safety, I guess we'll keep the East over the Hatsu. Or you keep both of them, say, hey, I'm not throwing the Dora at this point, so I might as well confirm my blocks right now, because we have the Shiramen right here, we have our pair right here, and then we have the Dora right here, so wow, they're just going like ultimate defense mode. Like Saki getting to the extreme once we hit like this middle late game. Toyman has like a safe tile over after dropping a Toitsu, so that is a sign of potentially like one Shanten or even Tenpai. 7 pin, I guess. If we keep 7 pin around, we could upgrade to like a Tanya if we draw like an 8 pin, but there's only one more, so do we just throw the 7 here? We could technically even upgrade to like Stananko and whatnot too. Nope, they're not having it. Their dreams are gone. They're living reality now. Working at a tech kaisha in Tokyo, gave up on their dreams of being a professional Janso member. 7 Sozu. Probably just drop it. Chun, this is also Toitsu drop after this, but their tiles don't. they seem a little bit like weaker than here, I guess, because like there's not as many like middle tile Suji drops as they had over here. But I guess it's only like a couple more. But yeah, this person's also probably like one Shanten or even potentially Tenpai. This person's hella pushing, so that's also something to look out for. So just in their hand, this has come along. It's the 8 pin. No. Okay, all right. We don't need the 8 pin. That's fine. That's fine. Who needs Tanyao, Sanonko, etc. Anyway. Not Ipeiko, that's for sure. 8 Sozu looks okay to probably drop right now if we drop it really fast. No, they're just folding. Huh. So yeah, they're like signs of Tenpai from this person, signs of Tenpai from this person, and this person, in face of both of those, has like no cares in the world and is pushing every single middle tile possible. So they're taking that as 3 dangerous people. I'm not in Tenpai yet. I'm still 2 Shanten, and we hit the 12th discard. I'm out. So yeah, they're just like folding. Technically, they can wrap around back into Tenpai with like a 7 pairs. So yeah, let's see what's going on there. 6 Mon's like right next to the Dora, like hella pushing. And yeah, Tsumo from this guy, they were actually Tenpai. Waiting on, what is that? Is that just like the 5/8? Not quite. Okay, yeah, so that's like a 2/5/8. Wait for Pinfu Dora Dora. If they win on the 8 or the 5, it's also Ipeiko. So Tsumo Pinfu Dora Dora, Ipeiko. Huh. 4,000, 2,000. Yeah, that was a nice sniff, I guess. Let's see what the other 2 people were doing, because they also looked like they were, like, pushing a lot. So this person was still Ishanten, Ken taking the Dora for a Tanyao Dora Sanshoku. This person was technically, why are you, I guess, huh. So they're still, like, 2 Shanten right now with their hands. How did they get to there? Okay, so they started off like with just like a lot of honor tiles they're holding back because their hand was just really crap from the get-go. And so oh, maybe that's what that pattern is. So if you have like crap from the get-go, I guess you're more likely to stock up on honor tiles. Hmm. Actually, not even. How did they get all those honor tiles? Okay, so they're just like slim down the hand, slim down the hands, slim down the hand. 3 honor tiles in a row from slimming down the hand right here. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so Dama in this game is really scary. Especially like if it's like a really choice Dama that we saw a few hands back when this player instantly got into Senpai for a Sanshoku Tiny Outdoor hand on a tile that was just dropped. So, you know, they just like casually discarded, and this person, Tsumogiri's the tile that was just dropped into like an unknowing like 8,000 point hand just to raw them in the face. So players are very, very wary of Dama here, and especially more so in this rule set because in like Richi Ipatsu rule set, you do have Dama, but it's not as prevalent, I think, mostly because Richi is just really OP. Where in this rule set, because it's not as OP, Dama probably has a lot higher frequency here. All right. Next hand. We're in South 3. Currently the South rounds. South wind. Dora is the 6 pin. Starting hand is 1, 2, 3, 4 Shanten with like some iffy shapes. Okay, slightly better shapes. So we have a Tatsu overhand. So that means any pair that we draw on any of our existing Tatsu will advance this hand. So that's pretty nice. Right now we are like the only person below 30,000 points, which is not great because in this situation we would get minus 12 Uma at the end. So ideally we want to drag someone down to hell with us, and that will save us instantly like 4,000 points. So that can be included to our hand EV as well. So I guess considering that, are we gonna like Sakigiri, like the Suso and the 8-mon, or are we gonna just go straight throughout the Otokaze? Nope. So they think this hand is like too far away to just go like super straight up fast mode. So they are taking it back steps. They're not losing much speed from this because they already technically have 5 blocks to work with, and then any pair can be drawn on these right now. So could I give a quick overview of the rule set differences? Yes. So this is JPML A-League rule difference. JPML A-League rules. In A-League rules, you have no Ipatsu, you have no Uradora, you have no Condora, and there are no red 5s. Outside of that, you do have a couple rule quirks like Kuei-Kai is allowed. So if you have, let's say, a 1, 2, and 3 in your hands, normally you can't chi the 4 and drop the 1, but in this rule set you can. But most importantly, the Uma on this rule set is a floating Uma, and it's not super impactful like it is in, let's say, like M-League rules, or even less impactful than it is in WRC rules. So for instance, right now we're like minus 12. If we can like pull down someone single placement, that would basically give us only plus 4,000 points. And even if we like move up from 4th into 3rd place, that would usually only give us about another 4,000 points. So the Uma isn't big, and because the Uma isn't big, hand sizes and like EV from each individual hand is like really, really important. So that's why people try to build up some really big hands with this. Sanchoku being like one of the big ones, Honitsu, Chinitsu, etc., etc. They go big. But because you don't have Ipatsu and Uradora, Richi is nerfed, and so with Richi being nerfed, you're kind of forced to go for a lot more Yaku-based hands, as opposed to just like Richi plus 1 with like that Ipatsu and Ura with Sumo. So yeah. Alright. Going back to this. West Wind drop. Got another Yakuhai tile right here. If they continue this trend right here, they could drop the 8-mon, but then that loses out on some potential to potentially upgrade to a Sanshoku even. What are they going to do here? Also, North is 1 cut at this point, so I guess they could throw a North. Tune? What? Okay, I'm going to have to look at that. What's up, Oshile? What is your opinion on this rule set with the nerf to Richi? It is really interesting, I think. So if you're comparing like Tenho to like M-League rules, both of them are Richi Patsu with Red Dora, and yeah, so technically they're using like the same tiles and the same hands and all that stuff. The only big difference between those is the focus on what you're trying to accomplish in the game. So in Tenho, because you only lose points for 4th, 4th place avoidance is like usually the most important thing. Whereas in M-League rules, if you win 1st place, you get a lot more points, specifically 40,000 points more than 2nd place. Whereas the difference in placement bonuses between the other placements is only about 20 for each. So in M-League rule set, it's take first mahjong. In Tenor rules, it's avoid last mahjong. And so, but how you make hands in that is about the same because it's like, the same tiles. In Tenho, though, for instance, you might not want to like reach in a lot of situations where you might get like pulled down to like the depths of hell. And similarly in like M League rules, if you are like, a solid first place, you usually really, really, really want to protect that. And if you're not first place, if like if you're second place, you really want to fight up to get up to first place, even if you like risk falling down into like third or even last place. So go to another rule set, look at the WRC rule set. Suddenly we're going to take out those red fives. What that does is slows down the hand value now, because even if we look at like Tenho, they have a stat page showing all of the different like hand values or hand yakus and how often they occur. The biggest one, of course, being Ricci. But following that, you have Red Dora and then regular Dora. So Red Dora is actually more commonly used in winning hands than regular Dora, which kind of makes sense if you think about it, because the Dora can be anything from like a nice 6 spin to a hard to use like 1 or a 9 or even like an honor tile. But red fives are always red fives, and you can just naturally run into them. So whenever you have red fives in the rule sets, it's really easy to get to Ricci +1, which is enough to get you up to a Mongon with Sumo and Ipatsu or Ura. So that means that if you're looking at the hands in WRC rule set versus the hands in Akaadi rule sets, Akaadi rule sets will technically go a lot faster than WRC rule sets that don't have the red Dora in play. But even in WRC rule sets, you still have Ipatsu and Uradora, so that just means the standard hand that you're generally going for is still Ricci +1. And this could be like, Tanyao, you can have a Yakuhai, you can technically have Ipeiko, etc., etc. So you do have a little bit more like Yaku building compared to Red Dora Mahjong, but still Ricci is very powerful. The Uma is also not that great. It's like 10k difference between each placement, so points matter a lot in WRC rule set. But Ricci is still really powerful, and so you're just holding on to the back of Ricci, just screaming, "Woo!" Now, if you compare that to WRC or to JPML A League rule sets, same thing. We don't have the red Dora, but suddenly we lost our Ipatsu, we lost our Uradora. You can't even like con for fun and get like 13 new Dora. You only have this one Dora tile or Dora indicator, giving you 4 tiles to use. Can't control what it is either, so it's not always going to be like a great red 5 mon. Or and yeah, so what that means is if you're trying to make a Mongon, which is technically the most like efficient value. So if you look at like the scoring, it doubles basically every Han that you go up until you hit a Mongon. Then at that point, it starts cutting it off. 4 and 5 Han are about the same, still a Mongon. 6 Han only goes up like half to like 12,000. Similarly, Baimon only goes up by a little bit more. So Mongon is like the efficient like like peak that you're usually aiming for. Uh, Speaking of conning, wouldn't it be much more common to call a con from someone's discards, especially if your hand is open? Yes! In this rule set, they will con like literally everything because there's no reason not to con for most hands. In regular Mahjong that has Ipatsu, Uradora, and Condora, if you do con, you are, it's like a dual-edged sword. It's like, oh, I have a chance to, get some Dora from this, but you're also giving 3 of your other opponents chances to get Dora, and especially if they're closed, they get that delicious Uradora off that new Condor as well. So conning is not usually the best idea in a lot of situations. But yeah, in JPML A League rules, if you con, the only thing that you like gain or the only thing that you lose from it is that you have some called tiles. But if you're already calling, then not that much, not that big of a deal. And after calling, you get more food from it. And so especially like if you have like a closed con of like a 1-so or like a 9-so or an honor tile, that's 32 food right there. That's literally another Han. So they're a huge gain to your value. So yeah, because we remove Condora and Uradora, suddenly like conning is actually very viable. Con though, yes, Con is actually a thing, and you still gotta watch out for that. But if you die main con all the time, then you can't get chunk on. And actually, another fun thing with that rule set, or this rule set, because they also have con, they also have Sekinin Barai, which is if you call a con off someone's discard, so just like that episode's of like Saki, uh, draw that Rinshan Kaiho tile and Sumo, the person that you conned from has to pay the entire thing. So yeah, that's some fun right there. All right, so let's see what we got here. So yeah, they just discarded a tune. Like what? Uh, so yeah, their hand is kind of iffy. So they only got like 1, 2, 3, 4. They got 5 blocks, but they're all bad. This hand's still really far away. I guess if they are playing more defensively, the North is definitely better to keep than like the Chun and the Hatsu. And then you could throw out the 8-mon, which would probably be better as far as like defensively than like all of these. But if you drop that, then you lose any like good chance to upgrade this hand to like a Sanshuk or something later on. So it seems that they're thinking, well, they still kind of want to like push the hand some, keep this around for potential growth later. But yeah, just throw out the Chun or the Shonpai Hatsu right now. Keep the safer North around because they'll probably be holding with this hand. Instant Pwn from the dealer drops a 1-so. That's a bit reverse. So they dropped a 5-so on the first turn and then a 1-so. So they could have something connected to the 1-so, or they just might be hating on this entire suit. And yeah, it could be potentially like a oh, in the worst case, I guess, like a Honitsu as well. They did drop this Shonpai like West Wind, but it is only an Otakaze, so it couldn't be. It's not that rare for this still to turn out to be like a Honitsu. All right, cool. So we got a pair of the Norths now. So are they just gonna drop Hatsu? If they do drop Hatsu and this person calls, that's absurdly unfortunate because now they have like a Dice Sangen chance, and that would be really sad in this rule set because the Yuma is really small, right? Which means Yakuman are really, 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 really important and are like super game changers. So this hand is really bad, and it's probably not even going to like get close to Tempai anyway. So are they gonna just like hold on to this Hatsu forever, or are they gonna try to risk throwing it right now? So yeah, they're holding on to this Hatsu, and it might not come out ever now because we see this pawn with the tune here. They have a trash hand, and so it's like, well, if I'm not gonna win anyway, I'm at least gonna not give you like all this value. Okay. 2-so west, 1-so sadness. All right, we have a 5-pin now. We have 2 pairs, which is technically 4 Shanten for 7 pairs, but yeah, this hand is horrible. I hate this. Yeah, this hand just feels really bad. Like, what do you do here? I kind of just like want to throw it all away and start defending right now. Like get rid of like every middle tile that I have that is dangerous. Guess if you want to try to balance like attack and like some defense with a little bit of chance to get lucky later on, I guess you could drop like the 1-2 mon here. But let's see what they do. Yeah, so they are dropping the 1-2 mon. 2 mon drop from there too. 8-so. I hope they draw a 5-so next turn. That would be perfect. Thanks for watching, Budster. Whoa, what is that? A cheer? I don't think I've ever got one of those before. Thanks for the cheer. All right. 1-so draw. 1-so is safe for the dealer, and if we are folding, that might be pretty good for later. So I guess we continue dropping this Tatsu right here. Throw the 1-mon. Yep. 1-mon Pon. Okay. And we have a Hatsu drop right there. That is not a good sign. So dealer has 2 calls. They dropped the Hatsu, which is Shonpai. Technically, they could be Tenpai at this point. More likely to be like 1 Shanten. 2 Shanten is technically possible, especially if they are going for like a specific Yaku hand. But yeah, 1 Shanten looks quite likely. So yeah, we drew a Haku here. I guess we can get rid of the Hatsu. which could show others that, hey, look, at least they don't have Daisongen. But either way, we probably want to start defending against the dealer right now. So either the Onso or the Hatsu. Onso is probably safer for these two later on, so probably just the Hatsu now. No, they are going with the Onso. So I guess they view Hatsu being a bit safer for these two later on than the Onso. 4 months a push, Hatsu drop, that is a bit of folding. Con, hey, we were just talking about this. Alright, now someone can chunk on him. So yeah, with that con right there, they instantly just gains, like, that's 16 fu from that, plus the 4 fu from this call right here, so that's 20 extra fu. If they have, like, a bad shape, or an honor pair, or, like, one more, like, 3 of a kind, or any, like, value, for fu in their hand, that goes up, and would make this hand, at minimum, 2,400, and it would double for every single, extra Han or Dora that they have, so that's kind of scary. And they did sumo. Nice. Rinshan Kaiho. Sumo. Another interesting thing about this rule set, and I think it's true on some other ones as well, but if you do get a Rinshan Kaiho, you don't get the sumo fu from that. But they don't actually need it because they have this Kanchan right here. So yeah, sumo 16,000 all. Huh. Scary stuff. And repeat. Isha. South 3-1. Dora is... What is that? The West Wind? We have one of them right now in a very awkward hand. This hand's kind of cool, though. Alright, starting off, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5 blocks right here. There's a bit of overlap right here, so we probably want to get rid of this 1 and 2. But yeah, we could technically make this into like a Pinfu. We have Sanchoku potentials. We have Tanyao potentials. We have like Ricci waiting on a Dora Tanki potential. Oh. Seems weird that Rinshan Kaiho is in this rule set with all the other luck factors being removed and nerfed. Yeah, not only do they also have Rinshan Kaiho, but they also have still Haite, still Hote, and then also, you know, all the Yakumans, of course, because Yakuman. But yeah, just the big nerf to Ricci. And I guess the nerf to Ricci is a lot more an issue than like keeping the other ones around. Maybe it's not so much as like removing luck, but removing Ricci from the game. I know the other day I was doing a stream with some people from the Pacific Mahjong League, and we did a Yaku tier list. And of course, you know, on that Yaku tier list, we have Ricci, but Ricci has to be in its tier of its own because, like, with Ipatsu and Uridora, like, Ricci can literally not be compared to any other Yaku because it's just, like, so overpowered. So by removing Ricci, I guess the really interesting thing that they do with this rule set is make it really, really, really different from every other rule set, which is kind of interesting because the main, so this is the main pro league right here, the Phoenix League. And if you're a new pro like me who joins in, starting at like, you know, the bottom like E tier leagues, suddenly you're thrown into like a rule set where you generally haven't played it much, especially in a competitive setting, because this is the only place that actually plays this rule set in a competitive setting. So rather than you know, having like the WRC rules or maybe even like Johnso rules or even M League rules, you're thrown into a situation where you're forced to learn and get good at a style that is like radically different than all the other mahjong that's out there right now. Which I guess is kind of interesting because it like puts a lot of importance on like, you know, looking at this new style, analyzing what are like the specifics of it, and then like basically like, you know, escaping from all of your like previous habits that you've had for all of those other types of mahjong, and like actually trying to like work your way through these A League rules. So yeah, some interesting stuff. All right. So yeah, we have technically 5 blocks right here. South is our double south, but unfortunately it's one cut right here. So yeah, what do we do here? see, we got 2, 3, 3, and the 1, 2. So this, keeping this 1, 2 around actually does give us a little bit better chance to get Sanshoku. South is one cut, but it is a double south. So I guess probably here, drop like the 1, 2, or the south. If they want to go like straight up blocks, like, you know, slim down, you could drop the 3, so that seems a bit weird. So yeah, they are cutting the one cut south. And that seems to be very, 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 very common habit for this player. If there's an honor that is one cut, they like to cut it. Dun, dun, dun. 5, 5, south. Hey, we got another 3. I hate this. I just want to drop like the 1, 2, I guess. We could confirm like the 6, but yeah, just probably drop like the 1 and the 2. Tanya looks nice, so probably drop the 1. Yeah, Tanya looks nice. So I got a 1 drop, got a 9 drop, already reversed from the get-go. What does it mean? No clue. Hatsu. We could drop the 2-pin here, confirm this round min. Keeping the 2-pin around does give us a better chance at Sanshoku chances. Hatsu, I guess, is a little bit more safer. So yeah, they are keeping the Hatsus. So even in this like point situation, even though they're last place in South 3, they're still not letting it affect like their main, like, you know, like, oh, I gotta push, or oh, you know, like I gotta like win some hand to get out last. They're still like, you know, playing their pretty solid, like, do what I can and hold on to a defensive like out just in case kind of strategy here. This is fun. Yeah, so 5, 1, 7 pin. So they do not like the Pinzu shape or the Pinzu suit at all. This is also similar to that, except just like not as profound right now. Hey, all right. So we moved up and what do we got here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 Shanten. Technically only like 4 blocks right now, but we can double up like in this shape, and then we can also use the Dora. Yeah. Dora's really hard to use, and I don't think we're as afraid of dropping a West Wind as we are like a 5 so Dora. So they're probably going to be willing to throw the Dora later on, and if that is the case, keeping 3 so rounds for upgrades for Tanya might be really good. So are they just going to go Hatsu here? Or are they just like really sticking to that defensive style, dropping the 3 so or technically even the Dora here? So no, yeah, they are going Hatsu. Says, hey, I got all this stuff, I might as well. This person calls, drops a 6-0. This could very well be a Mansu Honitsu, or just a fast hand. Both of those have similar patterns. So yeah, dropping a Dora tile that is like a West Wind or an Otakaze or even like a regular Yakugai tile, it's generally not as hard when it's like that compared to like, you know, a really easy to use middle tile Dora. But when someone's going for a Honitsu like that, suddenly that Dora tile looks a lot more dangerous, especially if we give them time to advance that Honitsu. But if we do throw this west right now and they call a pawn, I guess we have some confidence of being able to defend. So are they going to drop the 3-so here, or are they going to just like full on go and drop like the west wind? They could technically also drop the 6-so. Yeah, kind of curious. 3-so, yeah, so they are holding on to this Dora tile. We have 3 pairs right now, so technically we could switch over to 7 pairs, 3 Shanzen for that right now if we really don't want to drop the Dora tile. But if we look at this hand as like 1 big block, 2 big block, 3 big blocks, and 4 big blocks, if we end up in Tempai, we can just keep this Dora tile right here and Richi on Richi Dora Tanki. If we Tsumo, that's already a Mongon, so that is not that bad of an option. Really interesting discard from this person. 5-mon discard. Honitsu seems less likely now. Could be an outside hand, could be like a toy hand, or it could already potentially just be something in Tempai. It's a bit concerning. Hey, we have another pair. This is horrible. Oh, this is absolutely horrible. I hate this. So we have 2 Shanten for 7 pairs now, but we have like these amazing shapes. So are they gonna keep that like 4-pin around and I guess throw out like the 2-mon? Or are they gonna like, I guess if they really wanted to go 7 pairs, they would throw out the 5-mon. Or are they just gonna ignore it, like throw out the 4-pin? Let's find out. 5-mon, they are like, hey, 7 pairs, that sounds amazing. Look, this person's throwing all these middle tiles, so he probably doesn't have much around them. This person's like throwing like a lot of stuff, so yeah, let's just go for it. That's interesting. That's a really interesting choice. Huh. This guy really doesn't like throwing the door in this rule set. 1-mon, this is weird. What is this? This might already be Tenpai, just like a really fast hand. Toy to drop from Toyman. 8, so here we go, pulling right here. Okay, so this might actually be a 7, or this is probably like a toy-ish kind of thing going on. They had a 6-so right here that was connected to 2 8-sos, and they still dropped the 6-so ahead of time, like foregoing that 7-so draw. So that is a good suggestion that Toy might be at play. Not all green, most probably, because they dropped the 6-so and the 3-so, so don't have to worry about that. 3-so is quite possibly has like a connected tile to it though. Hatsu is a safe tile over. 6-so comes out. I don't think we call that. 5-so, alright. Yep, that 5-mon might come back to get us. So yeah. This is a really awkward hand. Currently, we still got 4 Shanten for 7 pairs, and we also suddenly entered the realm of 4 Shanten for regular hands. This person's too open, and we really don't want to drop the door tiles. 6-so is a safe tile for them. 5-pin's also a safe tile for them. 6-so, I guess, if we're like looking for more regular hands. If we're really, really set on not dropping the Dora, I guess 5-pin is probably a good answer to that. Huh. Let's see what they do. 5-pin, yes. So we are not throwing the Dora. Chitoi all the way. So Mawashi with Chitoi, keeping this door tile. Holding on to it for dear life. 2-pin. South is a super safe tile over. North. So this could be indicative of like getting close to Tenpai, or it could just be a indication of like, hey, this guy is scary, I'm folding. The big difference that we can see between them, I guess, is going to be if this guy pushes like a big tile after these, which could indicate that these were just regular hand progression tiles, and that they could even be Tenpai after this if they throw a really dangerous tile. That's Suji. Technically Shonpai though. 2 so's, 1 cut. What do we got here? 6-pin is nowhere to be seen. 7-so is nowhere to be seen. 5-so has these out right here. So probably drop the 5-so here, I guess? Since we dropped that 5-pin anyway. Yep, so dropping that 5-so. Chitoi all the way. 2-mon, Tsumogiri, 1-pin is a safe tile. 2-mon is a safe tile. These both might be kind of defending here. 7-pin is a safe tile, so we can drop that. 2-mon just came out though, and we see 2 of them, whereas the 7-pin we only see 1 of. Both of them are safe tiles, but for Chitoi purposes, the 7-pin is probably better to keep. Though the 2-mon is a bit more good defensively, just in case the dealer does get into Tenpai and declares reach. So what are they going to do here? So yeah, they are going 2-mon. They're like, this guy's probably out of the race. Okay. East from hand, that is a Shonpai tile. That is a good indication of potentially Tenpai or 1 Shanten. East follow up, folding. 4-mon, Tatsu over push. Hello, this person's pushing. They could technically be in Tenpai with Lucky Draw, but most probably 1 to 2 Shanten. Pulling from this guy, drops a North, which is also Shonpai. They are most probably Tenpai. If they do have Toy, which is kind of what we figured earlier, that's at least 442. Technically 3,900. More likely 5,200. And then Dora tiles we only see 1 of right now, so they do have a potential for Mangon. Technically even Hanemon if they have like an Anko, or if they win on the 3rd one. Alright, 3-so is a safe tile, 2-mon is a safe tile. What do we got here? 7 pin is the safe tile, so we'll probably just throw that. 6 mon. That is a big fold. We were just like, yeah, Chitoitsu. Yeah, that's unlikely. Let's just get out. All right. Yeah, and then Shonpai Dora drop. So if you didn't know that they were in Tenpai before, you know pretty much almost 100% that they are in Tenpai now. 4-mon can't be run for like a Toy Toy at least, and if they don't have the Dora, then it's a cheap hand anyway, so they drop the 4-mon. 1-mon, Genbutsu. North is Genbutsu, but we'll probably just keep following up. Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Huh. Huh. That is actually really cool. So Dora just came out, and these two people Tsumagiri. So Dora is a safe tile, basically. In case one of these two people get into Tenpai later on and like declare Richi, we can't really drop a Dora against them, even though it is safer against this person. But if we drop the Dora now, we don't have to worry about that. And technically, if they're lucky enough, they can even potentially now Mawashi around to get to Tenpai later on. That's cool. Pon! Huh. Okay. Uh. Okay. Huh. Okay. So yeah, dealer pawns the Dora. They passed up the first one, which is a good indication that either they passed up the first one. So that's they probably don't have a Yaku. If we just look at the Yakuhai, for instance, South is dead. Uh, Hatsu's dead. Haku's still alive, so they could have Haku. Chun is one cut from them, so they could technically have an uncle of the Chun. The weird thing is, like, they passed up the first one. And so if they were, like, instant Tenpai, ready to go with, like, 3 Dora, Chun, they probably would have, like, just called the first one, like, automatically. And so we know that they weren't already in Tenpai or something, because they had the safe tile, North that they dropped from their hand. So even after calling this Chun, they're probably not Tenpai, and they probably don't have a Yaku to back it up. Else they would have called this first one. So this just might be like a power play of like, hey, look, this person doesn't have Dora. Okay. So yeah, what are you gonna do here? I guess follow up with either 6-0 or the North. We're defending at this point. So going with the 6-0. Somebody on the Chun. So Chun's dead. So the only like Yakuhai tile that they could have for this would be like Haku. Technically, if they were going open for a Yaku, they could have Sanshoku, Toy Toy, Itsu. Toy Toy seems unlikely because they dropped like some pairs of the Tumon earlier. Tuso, or let's see, Sanshoku is hard to invalidate. Let's see, that Sanshoku is dead. That Sanshoku is dead. That Sanshoku is dead. And that Sanshoku is technically alive. So the upper Sanshoku is like 7, 8, 9. Let's see, 6, 7, 8 is dead, and then the ones below that are also dead. So yeah, Sanshoku is technically alive. Itsu's, let's see, Sozu's dead, Manzu's dead, and then Pinsu is technically alive. So they could technically have a Yaku, but like I said before, they didn't call the first one, and so that's kind of a suggestion of it's unlikely. Yeah. Alright. Chun follow-up tile. 6-mon is a blatant push, though. Do they have a Yaku now? That is actually... Or did they just not care about this, and they're fighting for, like, Tenpai? Huh. Oh, cool. So 6-mon's safe, and we have the 6-mon right here. Technically, this puts us in, what, 2 Shanten right now? So I guess we can drop the 6-mon, Wasiuchi. There we go. Forso, Tsumagiri, they don't care. They have their whatever hand that is. 1, 7 comes out. 7 is also Shonpai. This person's definitely pushing. Probably like 1, 2 Shanten. Could it technically be Tenpai? Forso is a safe tile, kinda. Safe tile for this person, but this person just switched their hands, so it's technically a bit unsafe for them. But we don't actually see any Yaku from them. so it's kind of unlikely. If we are playing just like straight up defense right now, I guess we'll throw like the 6-0 or the 7-mon. If we want to be a little bit greedier, I guess either throwing the north or even like I guess the 4-0 here. Nope, straight up defense. Giving up on Tempai, saying, yeah, you Dora 3 dealer and 3 call Hatsu, potentially Toy Toy can fight it out. Alright, so let's see. East is now gone. Oh yeah, they could have had East. 2-pin is a safe tile for this person, but dangerous for this person. 6-pin is another Shonpai. What is up with this? So yeah, this person looks like they're in Tempai. Like they're just like pushing like there is no next round. Follow up with 6-pin, 7-mon, 6-pin. So but both of these two are defending. And Sumo! Sanshoku! Yes, it was the one remaining Sanshoku. The 6-7. Yeah, the 7-8-9 Sanshoku. So now this raises the question, why didn't they call this first one? And let's find out. Okay, so this comes out right here. If they do call this right now, they would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So still 2 Shanten without a head. So that's kind of painful. So they're like, yeah, it's probably better to like, you know, get this Dama or get this like, you know, keep this as my pair. Gives them a better chance to like do that, etc. Potentially. And then this came out. And now they're just like, yeah, it's actually a good idea now. Huh. Calling the second like Yakuai tile in this rule set is a lot more common, but calling the second Dora tile like this, that's kind of interesting. Also, this person opened up. What is this? Wait. What is this? How did they end up with that weight? All right, so they kept this 9 because the 9 looks good. They kept the 7 because why not? And then they pawned, and they're like, well, I'm technically Tempai waiting on an 8-so, which I have a pawn of. And then the last one, of course, is dead over here. And so they're trying to get an upgrade for the Toy Toy. Huh. That's some really aggressive calling. And even then, they're like, yeah, door tile? I don't need that. This is the same person that like pushed a 2-so like Shonpai Dora tile on like the 14th turn a couple hands ago in face of like a, you know, super open like person that looked Tenpai. And they dropped it for a 1 shunt in hand of that. So yeah, this person's like absurdly like super offensive style here. So they pull in there, got the switch right here, and then got the instant draw into Tenpai right here. Waiting on the 8 Manzu for Sanshoku. Huh. Yeah, so I guess like the complete like nope, I'm out fold was actually really good there. Dun, dun, dun. And 8-mon was absolutely not bad. 2 in the wall still, and they simoed that for Chanta, Sanshoku, Dora 3, 4,000 all. That's pretty beastly. Next hand, the Endless South 3. Dora is the 3 Sozu. Right now, everyone is below 30,000 points, which is actually good for us because this is kind of weird. So they'd simoed 4,000 points, and we lost 4,000 points right there. But if the game ended right now, technically, the UMA would actually give us back 4,000 points because before we were the only person below 30k, so we were minus 12,000 points from UMA. But now there's 3 people under 30k or starting points. So now we're only down minus 8, which means even though they'd simoed 4,000 points all right there, technically we only lost like the 1 Homba. It's kind of weird. All right. Woo! All right. This is a hand. So we're south and we're double south. So this south is amazing. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically 3 Shanten right now. We have Chanta chances. We have this double South right here. We technically have Sanshoku chances. Yeah, do we just like go ahead and drop the 5 pin? Keep the 4 around, that just gives us a chance for Itsu. Onward! 5 pin, yes! Ultimate. Hand building mode. Tumon. So yeah, we got Tatsu drop early from there. Oh, what is this? This is absurd. I love it. Probably just drop the 5-mon right here. If we do get another pair of these, that would help us with our double south, if we do want to go that route. Yeah, so probably drop the 4-mon. Huh? Ho. Huh? Hatsu, huh? What is reason for that? Huh. Huh. So, huh. Huh. What is the Shuri, explain this to me.
Literally just wrote it.
Explain this to me. Alright, there's still Itsu if you want to aim high too, and a 6-mon draw doesn't make you cry as much. Yeah, I guess a 6-mon draw would make you cry. So if we drop the Hatsu, we're looking at like the tiles that make us cry. Like 6-mon draw and 5-mon draw both make us cry. Whereas we drop the Hatsu, then technically only the Hatsu makes us cry. So it's like 8 tiles that make us cry versus only 3 tiles that make us cry.
Yeah, and if you draw a Haku, you can still go for Chanta, that's fine.
Or Hatsu, I mean.
Yeah, but even in this shape, you can still go for Chanta Sanchu just fine.
Yeah, so we don't really lose that much. Okay. Hey! All right, now do we drop that pesky 4? I guess we don't have to. If we do drop the Haku right here, and we do draw a 5, technically we could switch over and drop like, this 9-so and this 8-so. But now we have like, Chanta and Sanshoku, whereas Itsu is just like Itsu. So it's like 2 Han versus like 4 Han right there if we keep it closed. So do we drop the 4-mon here or do we drop the Haku? 4-mon, okay. So at this point they're like, yep, worth. Hashtag worth. 9-mon has 3 left, 7-so has 4 left. Oshile says, what if you do throw the Haku and you draw the 6-mon? Do you throw the 8-9-so or what? You probably just take the Tenpai. Well, actually, so there's 2 things you can do, I guess. You can either just Sumogiri the 6-mon or take the Tenpai. Given this hand, even if they take the Tenpai, and they Tsumo the 7-Sozu, they'll probably just like Footy 10 reach. Because if you get like Richi Tsumo Sanshoku Chanta, that's a Hanemon versus Tsumo 300, 500. Which is really, really has a really big difference in this rule set because the Uma doesn't matter as much as like the points do. So if you draw a 6-mon, you could hold on to that, but it might actually be better just to throw out the 6-mon and be like, no, I'm fine. I don't need whatever this is. Huh. Now I really want them to draw a 6-mon to find out. 4-mon, someone getting that. Shun comes out pawn, so this looks a bit fast over here. And they also threw a tile near the Dora earlier, so that's an indication of potentially even like having like a pair of the Dora or something already being able to use the Dora, or they don't need value because they already have it in other places. So this is kind of scary. Let's see, drops that. Oh, everything is perfect. This is amazing. What do we do? All right. Do we Richi or do we Dama? We don't have Pinfu here because we are south. So this hand is only Chanta, and then if we get we get the 9, it's Chanta Sanshoku, so a solid 8,000.
Isn't this JPML? Isn't this A-League rules?
Yeah, this is A-League rules. What?
Why don't you Richi that then? Just Dama.
Oh, okay. So Shori says like, oh, this is JPML A-League rules. Why don't you just Richi then?
Why would you Dama? Why would you Richi rather?
Oh, why would you Richi? If you do Richi, then if you get the Sumo on the 9mon,
It
then it
just
goes up to a 12,000 point hand. Yeah, so normally Dama looks pretty choice right here because if the 6mon does come out, especially if you Richi, you don't really well, for one, yeah, if 6mon comes out, then you can't really take that because it's like, oh, Richi no me. You'll probably pass it up, go for D10 for the Hanuman Sumo. Yeah, and then also reaching will lower your win rate a lot here, especially Toyman open. Already has dropped the 9mon. If Toyman looks scary later on too, uh, other people might want to defend against Toyman, drop a 9mon. So yeah, Dama looks really choice. So yeah, I like Dama. What will they do? They are also like, yeah, hell yeah, yeah, Dama.
sounds hella standard.
That yes, that is actually hella standard. Da, 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 just casually, Sumo getting her hand, and a Richi, and a Chi, and a 6-0, or 6mon, we don't need that, and another 6mon. Alright, so 2 6mons are out, and we can see another one right here. So technically speaking, there's 3 6mons dead, and 1 9mon dead, so 1 6mon remaining, 3 9mon remaining, and there's a person in reach. But if we do reach and run them, we don't actually get any benefit because it's still a Mongon, whereas running them with the 9mon Dama is also a Mongon. So Richi would only benefit us Sumo-wise, and we also have to bet that 1,000 sticks. So are they going to continue Dama and like push to the end of whenever, or are they going to declare Richi here? Yep, Dama, push. And run! Hashtag worth. Richi, what is that? Is that just Richi Nomi? Yep, 1,300 points, plus 600 points on the board, minus 19 points. Yeah, we push. We push. So what did Toyman have? Did they actually have the Dora? Were they actually like super scary? And where's the open button? There it is. Yeah, they did actually have the Dora, and they were actually super scary. Like a straight up Mongon hand right here. Okay. Our 9mons are all in the people's hands. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Okay. Orasu. So we're in Oras. Currently, 2 players, aside from us, are all under 30,000 points. So we're basically guaranteed minus 8,000 points. There's no double run in this rule set. So there's no way that both of those players can end up above 30,000 points and make us like the only person below. So our UMA is pretty much set unless we like pull ourselves out of 4th with a dealer wrench on. So yeah, just play this straightforward. Dora is the 8 Sozu, and this hand is. Can we Q high? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, nope. Okay. Yeah, this hand's horrible. Technically 1, 2, 3, 4 Shanten for a regular hand, 4 Shanten for a 7 pairs hand. This hand's horrible. Dora's the 8 so I don't know if we want to drop the 6 so super fast. So yeah, what do we do here? We can drop 1 pin or the Otakases. Honitsu looks like a potential upgrade right here, so probably 1 pin, I'm guessing. Could even like drop this 1mon right here. I guess we do have Sanshoku that we could play around with as well. But Dora being the 8 so, I don't want to drop the 6 so. 4mon! Yeah, wow, yeah, wow, yeah. So they're just like hardcore going for like, I demand value from the get-go. Dropping the 4mon, we'll probably drop another 4mon next turn. Leaves them open for like Chansu chances, Sanshoku chances. Still leaves them open for the Honitsu chances and the Sozu. Huh. I need to take note of this. Like, yeah, even though it's like a cool like Rionmen pair, doesn't mean anything if you don't have value, and especially with this long hand that you're probably going to be folding anyway. Got to choose value routes. So yeah, 9 pin, 9 mon Sha, drew a Haku, probably drop the 4 mon again. Yeah. I guess we can go for Kokshi as well. Ah, 8 tiles to Kokshi. Ah, alright. This doesn't make it much better. Hmm. So I guess like either like 6 Sozu here to go max like Chanta chances. Or if we drop like I guess let's see. West is a 1-cut, so we could drop West. 6 so, yep, so max Chanta chances here. Right now we have 3 blocks for Chanta and very, very, very unlikely. But we can technically call. One Mon comes out. Are they going to call a Pon? They do not. One So comes out. Are they going to call a Pon? Doesn't look like it. Okay, 9 Mon. 7 Monzu can technically be used for a Chanta hand. But 2 of the 9 Mons are out. Are they going to value this 7 Mon higher than Sha? Or are they going to throw it out immediately? So they throw it out immediately. 6, 9, 9. uh, okay. We have 2 Dora now and 3 pairs, so I guess we are like friendship done with Chanta. Our new friend is now Chitoitsu. If we look at what's been cut on the board, 2 So still alive, 3 Mon still alive, 9 So is 1 cut right now. 1 pin is 1 cut, West is 1 cut, and then all of these are Shonpai, so I guess one of the 1 cut tiles. I guess 1 pin? But if we keep the 1 pin, we could, like, get the lucky chance for, like, Sanshoku upgrade later. And if we do get Sanshoku, even if we pull the Dora, we can still make a Yaku out of it. So maybe just cut the West then, I guess. Yep, so they cut the West. 5 pin, 1 Mon, South, Shonpai. 5 Mon. Alright, wait, four Monzu, no. She's like shooting us in the foot. I guess we just drop it unless we're like, four Monzu, I'm sorry, you can come back now. Nope, yeah, kill off that 5. 8, South is 2 cut. 1 pin, only has 1 remaining, but, alright. Chanta, we might be friends again. So we have Sanshoku chance here. We can technically even pull the Dora and open up with the Sanshoku like this person did last hand, or the hand before. So yeah, let's see. 9 So is like, I guess 9 So is like a cool drop, but then you kind of forsake the chances of Chanta. And especially since like, Chanta and Dora are basically like the same for an open hand, or Chanta's actually even worth more in a closed hand. It's probably good to keep around the 9 So you probably want to drop one of the honor tiles. So I guess Otokaze Northwind drop? Yep, so Northwind drop. Ricci! That's painful. Ricci from 3rd place. Let's see, were they? Yes, so they need 2,100 points to get into floating. So if they get like Ricci Tsumo, plus something, then they're good. So we can probably assume that they have plus something in their hand, in which case Ron would also work. 6 Mon, 8 pin, so these are both safe tiles. 8 Mon. So yeah, this hand is kind of cool, but it's also absurdly far from Tenpai, and we're probably not going to make it to Tenpai, especially since there's a person to reach now. So I guess we just fold, drop the 1 Mon. Push, like, big push, like, what? Wow, wow, that's, huh. What? So I think this might be the thing I was talking about earlier of, because you don't have Ipatsu and Ura, Ricci is a lot easier to push, even from Shanten, and especially as dealer. So if you're a dealer, and they like, Ricci and Sumo, let's say they have right now Ricci, Sumo, Wandora. If they Sumo that, that's going to be 2,000, 1,000 points, so you're going to lose 2,000 points from that. If you deal into that, then that's only 2,600 points. So technically speaking, it's not that big of difference for you as the dealer. And the trade-off here is, well, they're pushing their hand, and even if it is slim, they are giving themselves a chance, to get like a potential like death hand here, especially like with the Dora. The Dora can now drop from them if they're not waiting on it, because they're in reach, and they'll just drop whatever they draw. So yeah, they're like, yeah, uh, if it is just like a reachy something, then fight to the death. This is kind of cool. They've been playing like really defensive like the entire game, but we're seeing like a situation where they're like, no, you don't do that here. Okay, all these delicious tiles. I guess we drop one of these. Ha! Suddenly defense. Except it's not like super defense either, because like one mon is like an actual Genbutsu, Tuso is like a Suji to the Richi tile. Huh. I'm confused. Shori, can you explain this to me?
Huh? What's up?
Can you explain this series of pushes to me?
Let me take a look at the stream.
Wow, Shori wasn't even watching my stream.
No, because it's annoying because your stream is like delayed by 10 seconds, so I like hear your voice 10 seconds before I see anything like happening on the screen.
there's not much happening though. Alright.
So the series of pushes is the 8-man of the Tuso.
Yeah, the 8-man and the Tuso.
And the person in Irichi is the dealer.
Yep.
For a second.
Or no, you are the dealer.
The person pushing is the dealer. Or it is all us.
Yeah. So 8-man makes like kind of sense if they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna push. Like even if I deal in, it's not gonna be much of a difference than if they Tsumo. But then why did they suddenly go Tuso?
Well,
Toy route?
well, I would accept. Yeah, I suppose forcing the Toy Cheetah.
Yeah,
I suppose the idea is maybe that so hang on, with the Ricci, is the 26,900 points, is that like minus the Ricci stick?
Oh yeah, that's minus the Ricci stick. So if you notice right here, the Ricci stick will go down by 1 whenever they reach.
Right. In that case, I don't know.
I asked Shori and he says he doesn't know.
I mean, it makes sense to put. I mean,
it makes sense.
In a lot of rule sets, it makes sense to push last place.
Well, in this rule set, like last place doesn't matter as much as like I guess like I'm dealer and I have a couple Dora, and like if they Tsumo, they're like Richi Tsumo Dora, then that's about as much as I'm gonna lose to dealing into that because there's no Ipatsu or.
Yeah, I suppose Tuso is just
Tuso
is just their mix of like, well, it's a pretty safe tile. You would normally expect somebody to reach Kimachita that kind of.
Tuso's weird, but suddenly they're like, no, I foresaw 7 pairs. Like this was all Keikaku.
Actually, no, 2-pin is probably going to be played.
Either
Actually,
E-pin.
Really
Oh yeah, E-pin's like hella dead. 9 so wow.
So I guess they're just gonna keep up this mix of
just like big pushing. They're like, well, I'm not gonna drop the door anyway. And so
yeah,
they can call Haku now. So they have like those 3 blocks or 5 blocks. 6 months safe tile. South 2 so 3 so can't call that unfortunately. 9 so it's technically a 1 cut. 3 mon. So 3 mon is a Suji. And I guess that just continues their mix of like slight pushing, slight not pushing. Actually, maybe this does. Well, actually, no. I was thinking maybe it kind of does make sense because if they did Ricci, they need like Ricci plus 1 to get above 30,000 points. And if they don't have Dora, then they could potentially need like a Yakuai tile. Except, of course, it's not the south. It's not the east round, so I don't know why they wouldn't just go south unless they're like, or why they wouldn't go east. Except if they just think like east is a lot better for their hand. But they deal in. Ricci Chitoitsu is enough. 3,200 points puts them above, and yeah. So, oh yeah, this is actually really good. So if you deal into Irichi and Chitoitsu, you lose 32 points. If they Tsumo, you lose 32 points. So whether they Tsumo or whether you deal in, you lose the exact amount of points right here with Chitoitsu. as dealer. So that's kind of fun. Okay, so ends the first game of the person that'll eventually win all 16 of these matches with a 4th place. All right. So what did we learn from all that? Let's see. So let's do some quick analysis of this. Just going back to a quick recap. So this first one was like ignore calling until the super last moment, and then kind of take what you can get. So they're very apprehensive of calls, and especially this player was very, very apprehensive of calls whenever they had value. So in this case, we did see them call this, but in 2 more cases, I believe, right? Not this one. Let's see. This is one example. So right here, they could have called the 4-mon to instantly take Tempai for a 2,000 point or 3,900 point hand on their Takame, but they chose to pass it up. Similarly, we have some other situations. Not right here. They didn't have the chance to call right here. Where was that other situation? Was it at the end of this hand? Oh, here it is. So they also had a chance to call a 5-pin, or was it a 3-pin, I think? Oh, 4-pin, there we go. Right here for an instant Tempai with Tanya 1 Dora. This person's 2 open. So if this was like Tenno or something, I would most definitely like speed it up, call these immediately. But in this rule set and for this player, they're just like, nah, pass it up. I don't need it. I got like death hand chance. So that seems really common. So if you have a big hand, they are very more, or this player is at least a lot less apprehensive to call stuff. But for a hand that's worth nothing anyway, they seem a little bit more willing to call it. So like right here, we call this Chi. And then also dropping a little bit Nukeire to take a potential upgrade for Sanshoku. So always looking for value. Especially, what was it? This hand? Yeah. This 7-pin drop from yesterday where they're just like, yeah, I'm going straight up like, 4, 5, 6 Sanshoku. Also, the 7-mon is also 3 out, so it's kind of makes sense from a tile efficiency perspective as well, but still pretty insane, like the 7-pin drop right here. So yeah, always looking out for Sanshoku, like always looking for upgrade chances. Let's see. Yeah. All right, how do I compile all this? Turn on some notes. All right, so go big. Oh, far off hands was a good one. Far off hands. So they did this a lot for their like super far off hands. For the cheap ones that were still like efficient, they kind of followed them pretty like to the point of like still like maintaining like an efficiency. But I guess for like those, if you do end up in Tempai, you don't have to reach. You can like have a Kwashite, and then each of those still had like some way you could potentially like upgrade, like potentially switch over to the Sanshoku, get like an Itsu, even like wait on the Dora at the end. Oh, let's see. Calling. So there's not much call matching here that you see in like Tenho a lot, especially for, or I guess specifically for. I guess no, it's more of like especially for large one-shots and hands. Pushing as the dealer is another big one. So yeah, as we saw in like the Horas, they were pushing from like a really really bad hand, like speed wise, like yeah, uh, but it had like decent value, and even if they deal in, it was actually going to be the exact same point loss as if they sumo, which is not rare. So dealer has a lot more like leeway to like push whatever comes from them. So that also will probably play into like Ricci or versus Dama decisions, because if you Ricci and the dealer's just like I don't care anyway, it might actually still be better in more cases to just Dama. So that people aren't, like super like confirmed, like oh he's definitely in Tenpai, and you can potentially get your weight easier. Uh, what else? What else? Dama, or I guess compared to like Akaade at least, Dama is going to be a lot more common, and so you should keep an eye out for that. Let's see. Dora tile also, for this player in particular, they did not throw the Dora. I don't actually think. Actually, yes, they did throw the Dora, but only as like an Awase-uchi like safe Dora. They did not drop like a single Shonpai Dora or even just like any like one cut Dora. Except there actually wasn't that many Dora that got cut and killed off early in this. All four players are like super protective of the Dora unless they were like, just straight up like I have a hand, I'm pushing. So yeah, Dora protection is like absurdly important, it seems. Also, Shibori is another thing that we saw here. So whenever they had like their really crap hand, they called the tune early on, and immediately they're just like, nope, I'm never dropping this Hatsu for you. So Shibori is a lot more possible, I guess. Or I guess it makes just a little bit more sense. So if you're playing like Red Dora Mahjong, there are some situations where you're going to Shibori, you're going to hold up the tiles that other people would probably want to call, especially like early on. Um, but in general, it's not like super pervasive because if you're not winning, you're losing. And so, yeah. Plus, even like without like certain tiles, with so many Dora running around, it's pretty easy for other players to like build their hands and get value out of it. And so even if you are like holding on to like a Hatsu to like no matter what, the other two players can still build up like a really good value in fight. But in this rule set where building like big valued hands is really big, and like getting up to those like Mongolian level hands is like kind of like your main offensive focus. Uh, Similarly, from a defensive focus, you really don't want to give those to people, especially if your hand is like nothing. So Shibori is a lot more prevalent. Okay. What else did I learn from this? Greed. Yes, Sanshoku Greed. So this player in particular gave up a lot of like really big, like or not really big in a lot of cases, but they did give up a good amount of like times where they chose a less efficient option to opt for that value. So value versus efficiency definitely seems to have a big difference compared to Akaadi rule sets, where generally speaking, efficiency is going to win out a lot of the time. I guess because hands go fast, you need to go fast, and being able to kill off other people's hands, which are very easily like get value from the Dora, from Ipatsu, from Ura, from the red Dora. Uh, it's really important to go like super fast, and so like even like Pon 10, Chi 10, like run 1,000 to just like end a lot of hands is like super 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 important. It also kind of seems important in this rule set. This player doesn't seem to use them as much. We saw the really offensive player use it a number of times. But for a more defensive player, one of my friends was mentioning this earlier today when I said, yeah, for a defensive player, they were actually really greedy, which is kind of surprising. But he's like, oh, well, it's like because they're defensive that they have to be greedy because they're not going to get like a lot of those like, minor like points that you're going to like steal from like the clutches of death as an offensive player. So whenever you do like, make a win as a defensive player, you got to make it count. So that kind of like explains a little bit more why, even though they're so defensive, they're still really greedy with their hand options. So I guess I can summarize this as more consideration. Don't get lost in shiny shapes. That is one of my very big faults of I really like good shapes. Like they're just so nice. So like that where was it? So yeah, right here. When I was like listing out like what I would possibly throw or what they could possibly throw, I didn't even like throw in the Formon because I'm like, oh well, I mean yeah, it's not good for any of your value, which is like Chanto or Honitsu here, but it's like a shiny shape, and they're just like, no, no, just kill it, just kill it. So I definitely need to learn to be a little bit more ruthless on those shapes if they do not confine to the value of the hand, especially for really slow ones. Death to shiny shapes. Alright, is there anything else that I learned from all of this? This stuff was cool. And they folded later on. Chi Toy Power. This player was also really defensive, and I think that's mostly like, I don't know actually. Let's see. So let's look at the super offensive player as well. So like Fujisaki right here was holding on to a lot of like different like honor defensive tiles for most all of their hands, even the ones that were like pretty decent. You know, denying some more upgrades, especially like different like shape or speed upgrades, in favor of keeping like one cut honor tiles or even like Shonpai honor tiles. So yeah, did the other players, especially this offensive guy right here to the right hand side, were they that defensive too with their save tiles? Doesn't look like it. They're just like full on like I don't need this. Let's look at some more examples. Yeah, they're just like full on like I don't need this at all. So this looks like a personal preference for Fujisaki. Um, Nishikawa Jun, who's the Toyman, kind of plays similar to Fujisaki, keeps safe tiles around, even opting to like defend super early, like in this hand right here. And then Furukawa, who won this game, also seems to take a more slightly defensive approach similar to Fujisaki. So on this table we have like three people that very, very, very commonly try to like save up some safe tiles, and one player that's just more like pure offense kind of sort of thing. Kind of interesting. So if we're comparing this to like I guess in WRC you also kind of like keep save tiles around as well, but usually it's like you keep save tiles around for you know because you can. Uh, you're not keeping a lot of like super great upgrade tiles like you would in Red Door Mahjong where you can like suddenly draw like a red 5 on it. So like in WRC style compared to Red Door Mahjong style, you're a lot more likely to like slim down your hand and hold on to safe tiles. The interesting thing about Fujisaku's play here was that not only did he like slim down, but even for like his hands that were just like like value, he also like saved up on some safe tiles there and just like yeah I'm out. So why is that? It could just be personal preference, or if we try to like guess something for what it could mean in this rule set. Pushing is a lot more doable in this rule set because Ricci is nerfed. So considering that pushing is a lot more doable, being able to like have the ability to push from Shanten by having those safe tiles, I guess, is more important. I have no idea. I guess I'll have to look at more of his games to kind of get a glimpse into the mind that is Fujisaki. Technically, I do have the line of a person who lives with him, so I could just send them a question and say, "Hey, could you ask Fujisaki a question for me?" But I'll try to figure it out myself before doing that. Okay, so yep, those are the notes I got right now. I'll probably be doing some more of this next week, going to the next game. I have let's see, so tomorrow is Friday. Actually, what am I going to do Saturday? So tomorrow I am going to the dojo for some JPML A-League practice, like real life. So see if I can put any of these into practice to see what works or what I just get destroyed on or what I overthought or whatever. On Saturday, I still don't know what I'm going to do. So I actually might do some streaming then. I'll have to see. And then on Sunday, I got my actual league coming up. The second session of my E-League of the Phoenix League that we're watching right here. For my league, there's 5 sessions that we play in. And then after the 5 sessions, like the top X% will be able to go up to the next league. Ooh, SPT follows. Thank you. Uh, yeah, so I gotta figure out this rule set pretty quick. Okay, I think that's it for the night. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll catch you later.